Hi, I'm Alice and I'm here to make maths easier for you. Today, we're going to look at how to solve equations which have letters on both sides, and this is part one of a series of 4 lessons. So today is our first one where we're going to look at equations which look like this. So you can see we've got some letters on both sides and we've also got some numbers on both sides and some addition happening. We're going to, over the course of those 4 lessons, we will expand our knowledge and look at some different variations of this equation. And then in the final lesson, we will do some mixed practice where we try all of them. Today, you will need to know about 1-step equations and 2-step equations already before we start this lesson. So look out for the card above me in my playlist on those. And make sure that you understand those before you move on to this step. This is a full maths lesson. So I will be teaching you something and then I will encourage you to practice it yourself. This is going to give you the best type of learning, which is doing and not just watching. So it's really important for you to work at your own pace and do what you can when you can. So if I'm going a bit slow for you, feel free to skip a few seconds. If I'm going too fast for you, press pause. And if you're ready to start practicing before I tell you, you can always do it along with me. Or if you're not quite ready, when I say let's practice, then perhaps you could try 1 or 2 steps or watch me another couple of times. And just remember that mistakes are part of the process. They happen. It's okay. If you experience anxiety when you're doing maths and you'd like to get past that, this is the channel for you. I will teach you some key maths methods to help you understand the subject and make some progress. And at the same time, we'll be learning some psychology and mindfulness techniques to help you to feel more confident and relaxed, which will make you make even more progress. Before we start our equations today, we'll have a quick look at spaced practice. Now, a lot of people get put off maths because when you totally get something one day, you feel really good about it. Then on another day, maybe a couple of weeks later, you can't seem to do that same thing anymore. And I want to reassure you that it's not your fault. That is just how maths works. Doing maths is like building muscles or learning a musical instrument, doing art, or even a set of dance steps. If you want to keep that skill, you need to practice it often. It's actually much better to do a small amount of work several times with a day or 2 in between than it is to do lots all at once. Then when you haven't done it for a while, you'll probably have forgotten a bit of it and you'll need to practice again. So if you're going to spend an hour improving your algebra this week, I recommend that you try 3 20-minute sessions over the course of a week instead of doing 1 hour all at once. And then a month or so later, go back and do a few short practice sessions again. That's why today I'm making several short videos about this topic instead of one long one. Okay, on to our equations. Now, before we start on our main activity with equations with letters on both sides, let's just have a quick recap of 2-step equations, because if you know how to do 2-step equations, there's actually only one more thing you have to learn how to do to get our topic today. If you think you need more practice on 2-step equations, there's my video. And in the description of that video, you will find a lot of useful worksheets and exercises that you can practice more if you need to. So let's have a look at these 1-step equations. I encourage you to have a go at working these out yourself. Or if you're not feeling confident, you can do them along with me or pause before I do each step and see if you can guess what I'm going to do. So first of all, we've got 4y plus 3 equals 23. Do you remember what to do? First of all, we get rid of the 3 or eliminate the 3. It's add 3, so we subtract 3, we do the inverse. That leaves us with 4y equals 23 take away 3 is 20. Just one more step to go. Divide by the 4 because we've got 4 y's and we only want one of them. And we end up with 1y, so we just write y equals 5. Finished. Remember, if you'd like to check your answer, you just go back and substitute your value for y. So we can go 4 5s are 20. 20 add 3 is 23. We got it right. And one more. Do you think you can work this out yourself, or are you going to do it along with me? Pause now if you're going to do it yourself. Right, 3x plus 5 equals 35. So first of all, we take away the 5, leaving us on the left-hand side with 3x only. And on the right-hand side, 35 take away 5 equals 30. Next step, we just need to divide by 3, and that will leave us with x equals 30 divided by 3, which is 10. So we have the answer x equals 10. Check it. 3 10s are 30. 30 add 5 is 35. Done. And now we're ready to look at how to add one more step to that process to do our equations with letters on both sides. So first of all, I've prepared some pretty slides for us to do a quick demonstration of this using our weighing scales as we used in the previous video. And we'll look at how we eliminate parts of the equation, doing the same to both sides so that they remain equal until we end up with just the letter equals just a number. And then we will have solved the equation and found the value of that letter. So here we've got 2a's plus 10 on the right and 4a's plus 2 on the left. And you can see that represented on our weighing scales. They are equal, meaning the value of these two sides of the equation are the same as each other. So this is the only step that's different from a two-step equation, and that is identifying the smaller amount of letters. In this case, it's 2a because 2a's are less than 4a's. So having done that, we're going to eliminate it by subtracting it. So you can see I've taken them off from there. And when I subtract 2a from my equation, it's left looking like this. 2a plus 2 equals 10. We don't need to keep the plus with the 10 because it just means positive 10. And then next step, it's just a two-step equation. Do you think you can solve it on your own? Give it a go and pause it, or do it along with me if you'd like. So we need to get rid of the plus 2 now, so that we're left with only letters on the left. So we subtract 2 from both sides, leaving us with 2a's is the same as 8. Finally, we need to divide by 2 to leave us with 1a only, and doing that to both sides will leave us with a equals 4. We have our answer, a equals 4. Is it right? We will have a look. So here's how we can check. Just the same as before, just a little bit more work for us as we've got more numbers to work with. So if a equals 4, 4 4s are 16, add 2, that makes 18. On the other side, 2 4s are 8, add 10, that gives us 18. So we know we're correct. You don't have to do that, but if you're someone who likes to know whether you're right, then it is a helpful step. And here's another one. This one looks a little bit different if you notice, because instead of having letters plus numbers equals letters plus numbers, we've got numbers plus letters. There is no difference in the meaning of this or how we work it out. I just wanted to show you it that way around in case you encounter one like this and think, oh, I'm not sure what to do. So we'll go through this one a little bit more quickly in our example. And if you're ready to try it, or even just try a couple of steps of it, then pause when you want to and have a go at working it out yourself. Let's go. So first of all, first step, decide on what the smaller amount of letters is and subtract it. That's 2b in this case. So on our weighing scales, we would have taken away 2b's from each side, leaving us with 3 plus 1b, so we just write b, equals 9. Now, unlike two-step equations, equations with variables on both sides do not always have the same amount of steps, because once we took away the 2b, we were only left with 1b, And therefore, we don't have to divide at the end. So we just get rid of that 3 from both sides by subtraction, take away 3, and we're left with b equals 6. So on our weighing scales, we would have taken away 3 from that side and changed the 9 into a 6 because 9 take away 3 equals 6. There you have it. Okay, right, we're going to try another one without our weighing scales now. And it's up to you whether you are ready to do this yourself, do a step or two yourself, or just watch me and maybe write it down as I do it. Just watch out for this one because we are going to do one thing differently, and that is swapping from one side to the other halfway through. Let's have a look. So first things first, what is the smaller amount of letters? We've got 2C on the left and 5C on the right. So let's eliminate the 2C because 2 is smaller than 5. So we take away 2C, and that leaves us on the left-hand side with just 9. Remember, if it says plus 9, we can lose that plus and just leave it as 9. On the right-hand side, 5C, take away 2C, leaves us with 3 lots of C. And then we have the add 3, which doesn't change because we were working on the letters. Now, this is where the swap thing comes in, because this looks a bit weird now, doesn't it? It's a 2-step equation, but it looks kind of backwards. So it's easier for us if we just swap everything to the other side before we continue. You can only move things to the other side if you're moving everything to the other side, by the way. So we'll just write it out again. 3C plus 3 is the same as 9. And then we can solve our 2-step equation. So maybe if you've been working along with me up until now, you might feel like you can do this bit on your own. What do you think? Let's take away the 3, leaving us with 3C on the left and equals 6 on the right. And finally, what do you think we do? Yes, we divide by 3, and that leaves us with, on the left-hand side, just C, which is what we wanted, of course, and C equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Great. We've now got 3 practice exercises to try. So it's up to you how much of this you do yourself and what pace you do it at. But I encourage you to take a risk and give it a try. If you get it wrong, what's the worst that can happen? It's just me and you here doing some maths. Worst that can happen is you learn how to do it right next time, or you just have to do a little bit more work. Nothing bad's going to happen if you make a mistake. And I've put the steps on the left so that you can see them. We have a slightly different looking equation here because it says add k and there's not a number next to the k. That's fine, it just means 1k. So when you subtract it, you subtract 1k. Are you going to pause it and try yourself? If so, do that now. And let's have a look at how to solve this. First of all, identify the smaller number of letters, which in this case is 1k. Take it away, leaving us with 2k plus 6 equals 30. Next step, eliminate the number from the other side. That's 6. Take away 6, and we're left with 2k equals 24. Divide by 2, and we have our answer, k equals 12. Remember, if you like to check to see if you're right, you could have put the 12 back into the equation and see if 3 12s add 6 is the same as 30 add 12. Next one. This is another practice exercise for you. Are you ready to try it yourself? Go on, I dare you. Let's have a look at the solution. Smaller amount of x's is 4x. When we subtract that, we find that we're left with a 2-step equation, just like in our example earlier. And we only need to do take away 2, and that leaves us with x equals 5. Fantastic. And last practice exercise coming up. Are you going to pause it and try yourself? Go on, I dare you. What's the worst that could happen? Not much really. What, you make a mistake, you get a bit grumpy because you made a mistake, nothing bad happens. You just try again. Let's do it. Pause now, or here's the solution. The smaller amount of x's in this case is 4x. Remember, it doesn't matter which way round they are when you're adding, it just means the same thing. Take away the 4x, we're left with 2x plus 4 equals 18. Let's now remove that 4, next step. And that leaves us with 2x's equals 14, because 18 take away 4 is 14. Last step, divide by 2, and we have our solution, x equals 7. And we've finished our algebra for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and well done you for committing to improve your maths. In our next video, we'll be looking at part 2 of the series of 4 videos, which is where we're going to look at what happens when there's some subtraction in the equation. Perhaps you'd like to like and subscribe. That would really help this channel. This is a new channel, and I hope to grow and reach more people to make maths easier for them. In the description, as usual, you will find links to a worksheet to help you practice, some videos of mine which might help you if you weren't quite ready for this one today, or you need to practice some of the skills in it, and services to help you if you are struggling with your mental health. Anxiety can really disrupt our lives, so if you are finding that that's the case for you, just remember there are people who want to help you, and there's some links to free services in the description. And well done, and I hope you have a lovely rest of day or evening. See you next time for part 2.